Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Every single day, y'all. Every single day. You are now rocking with the best. And since you are rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Hey, we got a good one today, y'all. We have a good one today, y'all. We are talking about the next game. We're talking about the next game for tomorrow, 5 o'clock p.m. against the Indiana Hoosiers in Albany, New York. It is about to go down. It's about to go down. Sweet 16 fever is here. It is time to get geared up. Get ready for the basketball game tomorrow. Time to get ready. It's time to get ready for the game tomorrow, y'all. It's time to get ready. We can't get to Sunday until we get past tomorrow, right? We can't look past a team like Indiana who's really good. Indiana has a really good basketball team, but we can't look past them. We can't look past them. We can't say, oh, after Indiana, we got, the winner between Oregon State and Notre Dame. We can't do that. We can't do that. The girls can't do that. The staff can't do that. Us as fams cannot do that. It just doesn't allow us to do that. I know some of us got the hotels ready for next week. I know some of us already got the flights done, already got the parties ready, got the champagne ready to pop, got everything all juiced up, ready to go. Ready to go. And I ain't gonna lie, I do too. I ain't gonna lie, because you gotta prepare early, right? You gotta prepare early. But we got some basketball games to adhere of first. We have some basketball games to adhere of first. And if you haven't seen it yet, you haven't seen anything yet. When earlier today, I went off on a rant and about this whole list that ESPN put out in regards to the top 25 players in the Sweet 16. I went off on it was a afternoon rant that I had to say. I had to get it off my chest. Sometimes I've told folks like this is like my therapy. It's my therapy, And different than the VA therapy, just a little different, but just my therapy to get stuff off my chest when I see some dumbassity stuff that's on social media. I don't understand some of it. I don't understand some of it, and we might talk a little bit about that today. I don't know, but we have to address a couple of things that I didn't address, in the last live show 2 days ago. I failed to mention because I had a lot of stuff on my list in my brain that I wanted to talk about. One of the things I wanted to talk about was that whole debacle that happened with Utah. That whole debacle, and Utah basketball team and what happened in Idaho, and all those different things, and sometimes you just realize. Or some people realize that racism still obvious and apparent in the country and everything, and I hate it for the girls, and the staff or whoever was there, had to be subjected to that crap, and I just feel bad that some people still feel that way. It's just crazy to me that some people still ignorant enough to feel that way, and I'm just sorry for your loss. Just sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss. You're missing out on a lot of great people, and just to you're missing out on good things that can happen to you if you just open your heart and open your mind and accept everybody. That's all I got to say. Accept everyone. I can go off on a tangent and talk about racism and what I've seen in my life and what I've experienced in the military and all these different things that I can address, I can talk about. But I will say this. I'm a country boy from South Carolina. I've experienced a lot and I've seen a lot and I've heard a lot. And I have, my own feelings about this mess. And you just have to learn to love one another and stop doing dumb stuff. Just stop doing dumb stuff. And at this point in life, 2024, if you're a racist, you're just dumb. That's all I gotta say. You're just dumb. I ain't got nothing to say. It's dumb. It's dumb. And Utah, I'm sure that affected the way Utah played. It had to. These are young girls. These are young girls. These are babies. It had to affect the way they play. You know, it's not robots. It affected the way they play. And I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that. Now back to our Gamecocks. Back to our Gamecocks playing tomorrow. And I'm just trying to figure out ways, because you were a 15.5-point favorite. We're the big favorite over the weekend, Friday and Saturday. We're the big favorite. You know, somebody is Vegas is projecting us to win by a lot of points. A lot of points. And I just have to say that with the whole Indiana, South Carolina, and you know, a few years ago we played Indiana, you know, I think 2019, Virgin Islands, Bahamas. I wanted to go to that game. I wanted to. Should have went. Wife and I should have went to that basketball game. We didn't go. And we played horrible. We didn't play well at all. Shot for like 2 for 17 from 3. And we just didn't play well. And we lost. That was the last double-digit loss the Gamecocks have had. And that was against Indiana. It's a new era. It's a new era. This is a new basketball team. It's a new Indiana basketball team and definitely a new South Carolina basketball team. Now, I just got to find ways that, you know, if a basketball team wanted to beat South Carolina, what is the Achilles heel of a team like South Carolina? What can you do as a basketball team to stop South Carolina? What can you do? What can you do? And it's just it's tough. It's tough for a team to beat Carolina. It's just tough. I don't know what's the elixir that a team has to sip on in order to beat South Carolina, because there's a lot of hopes, there's a lot of dreams, there's a lot of different things that you have to do in order to beat South Carolina, because South Carolina is number one. And we're number one for a reason. Now, we're number one for a reason because we're number 3 in offensive rating, we're number 1 in defensive rating, and when we break that down in terms of offensive rating, there's only a couple teams that's better than us in terms of offense. Only a couple. And those teams are Iowa and Gonzaga. Iowa remains in the tournament. Gonzaga remains in the tournament. And then there's South Carolina. Okay? Now, in terms of defense, ain't nobody better than South Carolina. We're number 1 by a whole lot. By a whole lot. And you can mention LSU. We can talk about LSU, who's the closest team who's still in the tournament next to South Carolina, but we're about 5 points better than LSU in terms of defensive rating. But there's no combination of a team. And we're always talking about a team. And that with offensive rating and defensive rating, offense and defense, because those are the things, offense and defense actually help you win basketball games. We're not talking about, various different lists of All-American this and SEC this and all these accolades that certain players are getting because they just play offense. If this was an offensive game, Carolina still be great because we're number 3 in offense. But this is a basketball game played by basketball players where you have to play offense and you have to play defense. And when you're playing a basketball game and you have to play offense and defense, South Carolina is the best. The best. I don't know what a team like Indiana, who don't rebound the ball well, can do against a team like South Carolina, who is dominant rebounding the basketball. I don't know. South Carolina is number 5. Number 5 in the country, 360 different basketball teams in offensive rebounding. Number 5. Indiana is 262nd offensive rebounding. A team that Indiana played that is similar to South Carolina in terms of size and skill is a team like Stanford. Now, Stanford, I don't believe is as good as South Carolina, but they're a good, really good basketball team. Really good basketball team. They saw two players who are 6'3" and 6'4", Cameron Brink and Kiki. Really nice, really good players. Really good players. Carolina starts two players who are 6'3" and 6'7". When Indiana, who does not rebound the basketball well, played a team with the size and the speed and the talent of a team like Stanford, they lost by 30-plus points. They lost by 30-plus points. Now, that game was early in the season, but size matters. Rebounding matters. And both Cameron Brink, who almost had 20 and 20, and Kiki had 20 and 12, dominated. And neither one of them played more than 26 minutes in the basketball game because such a blowout. Am I saying that our Gamecocks, am I saying that Ashlyn Watkins, Kamilla Cardoso can do those numbers? I don't see why not. I don't see why not. In a game like that, where rebounding is so important, and it's so important in this basketball game, rebounding, because there's going to be a lot of missed shots. Now, Indiana have a great offense when they're playing average defensive teams. Have a great offense. One of the best offenses in the country in terms of efficiency, in terms of field goal percentage, in terms of 2-point percentage, in terms of 3-point percentage. Hell, free throws as well. One of the best offensive squads in the country. Until they meet a team size-wise that can combat that. Speed-wise that can combat that. Stanford was that type of squad where they ran up into a buzzsaw with Stanford, who was bigger and faster than they were. Now, for South Carolina, and Stanford's defense is not as good as South Carolina. Don't get it twisted. They're not as good as South Carolina. But we have an opponent, a common opponent, and I don't see how it's going to be different on tomorrow. Because you just can't get better at rebounding overnight. And that great, effective offense that Indiana has to deal with the number one defense in field goal percentage allowed. Number one in 2-point percentage allowed. Both of those percentages is a direct reflection of Ashlyn Watkins, who has a defensive rating lower than anybody in the country that's playing over 20 minutes. Lower. But I don't see Ashlyn Watkins getting recognized for any type of defensive awards. I don't see her getting recognized for anything. I guess apparently she doesn't play enough minutes. I guess apparently she doesn't get that recognition because she's not, playing 29, 32 points, 32 minutes a game, and she's not shooting the ball 10, 15 times in a basketball game. But you look it up. Ashlyn Watkins has the lowest defensive rating by any player playing more than 20 minutes. Cameron Brink is close. Her defensive rating is very low as well. But the combination of Ashlyn Watkins and Kamilla Cardoso defensively down low is going to give Mackenzie Holmes all sorts of problems. She's going to be uncomfortable. She's going to be uncomfortable the whole night. While she's in the basketball game, she will be uncomfortable. When they played against Stanford, she had about 8 points, at two or three rebounds, had about, I think she had like 2 block shots. I can't remember exactly, but she had like 3 or 4 fouls against Stanford. Expect the same thing to happen against South Carolina. Expect the same thing to happen. Mackenzie Holmes is a really good player, but there are levels. There are levels to this, and Mackenzie Holmes about to find out who the top boss is. She's about to find out who is the top boss. And with that being said, there's a young lady that plays for Indiana who was a roommate, who is a friend, who played together with one Te-Hina Paopao. Sydney Parrish. Yeah. Sydney Parrish, 6'2" guard for Indiana, was roommates with Te-Hina Paopao. Played on the same team. Still road dogs to this day. Can't wait to see it. I love seeing friends compete against one another. I love it. It's fun. It's fun. You know, Te-Hina Paopao going to go at her. You know, Parrish going to go after her too. It's going to be fun. I like it. And then after the game, everybody go to the concession stand, do whatever they do, and enjoy, you know, everybody's friendship, you know. But that is pretty cool because Oregon had that amazing recruiting class. Multiple players. I don't think any of them play with Oregon now. I think all of them left. Everybody left. Everybody saw the writing on the wall, and all of them left. They had a #1 recruiting class that year. That was in 2020. That was the COVID year. That was when there was no McDonald's All-American game. None of those things happened. So you could Google, you can YouTube, we can do whatever. You won't see Te-Hina Paopao in the McDonald's All-American game in 2020 because it didn't happen. It didn't happen. But that is something to watch. That's a storyline to watch. And just a few key things to make sure we keep our eye on in this basketball game on tomorrow. #1 is rebounding. The teams that have gave South Carolina a problem, it's not been many teams, but the teams that have given South Carolina a problem this season. And I'm talking about a problem meaning we win the game by 10 points or less. You know, LSU, when we won 79-72, okay? LSU, when we won 79-72, LSU shot 43% from the three. That is great. LSU is not a great three-point shooting team, but they shot that percentage, okay? LSU also had 6 more offensive rebounds than we did. Now, you're talking about the two of the top 5 teams in the country in offensive rebounds, and LSU beat us on the boards in that basketball game. Therefore, that game was close. Tennessee, we played Tennessee so many times. I don't want to ever see Tennessee again. Well, we won't see them again anyway until next year. But when we won in the SEC SEC semifinals, 74-73, Tennessee played well. They rebounded the ball well. We shot 27% from three. 27% from three. When we beat Tennessee with 76-68, we shot 33% from the field, 25% from three. So there are ways that Carolina can make this game close. And I say ways that Carolina can make this thing close because I feel that the only way that this game will be close is if Carolina makes it close, not Indiana. Indiana can play their best basketball. And if Carolina plays their above average basketball, it's a blowout. That's when Indiana play their best. Now, and Carolina shoots about 33% from the field. If we have 17 turnovers like we did against Utah, remember that game against Utah in the Mohegan Sun? We had 17 turnovers. 17 turnovers in that basketball game. If we play a game that that Indiana just shows up and say we're going to out-rebound the Gamecocks and they out-rebound us, then we got problems. If we turn the ball over a lot, if we don't shoot the ball, and I would say like this right here, if we shoot anywhere 42% or higher field goal percentage and about 34, anything above 34, 35% at the three, we should be fine offensively. Limited turnovers about 12, 13. That's our average right now. We got like turnovers like 17, 20, 22, although Indiana don't steal the ball a lot. This is why I say we have to play our ball. We got to worry about Indiana. We have to worry about Indiana. We got to play our ball. If Indiana comes out and shoots about 47%, 48% from the field and shoot about 40% from three, that means our defense did not travel to Albany. But I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't believe that's going to happen. Our defense ain't going to travel to Albany. I believe our defense is going to travel anywhere. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. Against Stanford, and I keep referring to Stanford because, like I said before, they are similar team as the Gamecocks. Sanford shot over 50% from the field. They shot 37% from three. Out rebounded Indiana by a lot. Indiana only shot 35% from the field. Only shot 16% from three. We have to play our brand of basketball. And we play our brand of basketball. We will win this game and go to the Elite Eight and play the winner of Notre Dame and Oregon State. Let's go through a few of these questions. That's going on, James Adams. Okay, I'm Will. We owe that Hoosiers some big payback from November the 28th, 2019. That was the game. That was the game. Thanksgiving time frame. We should have went. We lost 71-57. The COVID-19 lost season. Carolina went 32-1. The only team to defeat Carolina is Indiana. Time for some payback. That COVID year was so good. That was a good team. That was a good team. And I believe wholeheartedly we would win a chip that year. For sure. I believe we would win a chip that year. But COVID was strange during that time. And it just we still got a banner up there being unanimous number one, but that's not the same as cutting down the nets. But that team was great. That team was great. It was great. Lamar Donald, this is the revenge season, sir. We're coming for all this year. We are. I agree with you. Lamar. I do. And it just goes into the fact, or it just makes you think. It just makes you think that a lot of things that were left unfinished last season. Now, it's players on this team that was not on the squad. Obviously, there's some players on the squad, but Raven's still here. Raven's here. Bree's here. Watkins here. Kamilla Cardoso's here. Several players who felt that sting from last year and got to wipe that taste out the mouth. They do. And the only way you can wipe that taste out your mouth is by winning more basketball games. We got to win two this weekend. We got to take care of that first. And, tomorrow's show, it will be on right after the game goes off. And we're going to turn up. We're going to have a good time. But in lieu of that, it's 8:22, and we have not did our shot. I don't know what went on in my brain where I just failed to do a shot. Ladies and gentlemen, it's shot o'clock. It is shot o'clock. It's 8:22 p.m. on a Thursday night. I got my fly shirt on. I got my fly shirt on. Ain't got nowhere to go. My wife ain't here. Still waiting on the baby. But we're going to turn up tomorrow night. But we're going to start with a shot tonight. So this shot is for everybody who is alive, who is living, who is enjoying, who is ready to see a beatdown by epic proportions on tomorrow night. I can't even say tomorrow night because the game's at 5 o'clock. Can't even say tomorrow night. 5 o'clock tomorrow. It's going down. That shot. Here we go. It's going down, y'all. It is going down. And tomorrow, it's some great basketball. It's some great, wonderful basketball that's going on tomorrow. Wonderful basketball that's going on tomorrow. And we have to start with Oregon State. We have to start with Notre Dame. We got to start with Hannah Hidalgo. We got to start with her, right? We gotta, that's the appetizer. That is the appetizer. Because we're going to know who our opponent is going to be once that game is over. About third quarter, midway through the fourth quarter, we'll know who our opponent is going to be. Do I want Notre Dame? Do I want Oregon State? Well, I don't want Notre Dame. I don't want to play Notre Dame again. I don't. We beat Notre Dame by 30 points. I don't want to see them no more. We saw them the first game of the season in Paris. I don't want to see that no more. I'm tired of playing opponents that we played before. I don't want to see that. I want to play against teams that are new. That's why I'm so excited. I'm so excited about playing Indiana tomorrow. It's a new team. And more specifically, they got to deal with us. don't know our tendencies. They can see stuff on tape, but they don't know the physicality. They don't know the speed. They don't know the talent. So I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited that. So I want Oregon State to win that basketball game so we can see Oregon State on Sunday versus Notre Dame. Just send Notre Dame on home. I don't want to see them no more. I don't want to see them no more. I don't want to see them no more. I don't want to see LSU no more. I don't want to see LSU for the third time. I don't want to see that mess. I don't want to see any of that stuff. I just want to see a new team, new players. No. Y'all handle y'all business tomorrow. We'll handle our business. Now I'm talking about Oregon State. Y'all handle y'all business tomorrow. Then we'll settle up on Sunday. But going to beat Notre Dame. Because there's a lot of great basketball going on Friday and on Saturday. But let's not confuse the hopes and the wishes of what we as basketball fans want. Basketball fans, and I'm talking about Gamecock fans in particular, we know what we want. We want Iowa. That's what we want. Will that happen? I don't know, but that's what we want. We want to see Iowa. But Iowa got to handle their own business. Iowa got to get past Colorado on Saturday. That's what they got to do. They got to get past Colorado, and they got to play the winner of, if they get past Colorado, which that game is going to be contested a lot because Colorado is a really good basketball team. So if they get past Colorado, they got to play the winner between UCLA and LSU. Now, my dream would be, is Iowa playing LSU. I know that's what ESPN is hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for as well. I'm not even gonna say that. What I'm hoping for, UCLA beat LSU, go and send them home. They can go and cut some more records and go do some more Instagrams and go do some more things. Go see what's in the transfer portal, and so they can get their squad together for next year. Let that happen, and then have UCLA beat Iowa. No, I don't want UCLA beat Iowa. That's what folks who I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke. Captain will want all the smoke. UCLA will be favored against Iowa. They will be favored. If UCLA play Iowa, they will be favored. They will. They're bigger, faster. Bigger, faster, stronger. I want Iowa to be unscathed, no injuries, none of that stuff, and play us. That's what I want. We want to drag Iowa. We have to. The story can't end until we beat Iowa with Caitlin Clark on the team. I don't want to play Iowa next year. They're going to be terrible next year. I want to see that. I want them this year. I want MiLaysia Fulwiley to cross up Caitlin Clark and break both her knees. I want that stuff to happen because she don't play defense anyway. I want Raven Johnson to pop a couple threes and then wave them off. I want that stuff. I want Ashlyn Watkins to dunk on somebody. So many things I want. What about that Stanford and North Carolina State game? Stanford, North Carolina State. That's going to be a really good game, too. A couple questions. Day T, one day at a time. Antonio, we ready, Cap? We ready. Bernard Thomas, what's up, Cap? Hope you was able to calm down and relax. I took a shot for you and ready to give Indiana that smoke. Bro, I was crunk because I hate the disrespect that our girls get. I really do. I really hate the disrespect that our girls get. And they can't go on a podcast and just say, man, that just pisses me off. I can say it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that the number one team across the land don't get the credit that we get unless we're just talking about team play. What I'm last time I checked, it's actual players who play for that team. I blows my mind. So if the number one team across the land actually have players on that number one team, that actually means that there are great players on this basketball team. Make it make sense. You have to reward greatness. We have to, us as people, us as an organization, us as in the military, in corporate world, at your job, whatever you may do, we have to stop rewarding mediocrity. And a lot of times that's how I feel with ESPN. They're rewarding mediocrity. That's what they're doing. I think it's easy. I think it's so easy to reward players who are the best player on their team and take 40% of their shots. I think it's easy to do that. But this season is about team. It's about team. And the list that I saw with Caitlin Clark being number one, Paige Beckers, who I love as a basketball player, number 3, Juju Watkins and Hannah Hidalgo. I can't remember 1 through 5. All I know is Madison Booker was number 5. 3 out of the top 5 players in the Sweet 16 are freshmen. That's just disrespect on the players who's been doing it. Those players who've been doing it play. This is the crazy thing about it. The players who actually have been doing it, the players who are really great, who are juniors and seniors, play for teams that are all around better. Angel Reese is a senior. Anissa Morrow is a junior. Okay? They got Flage in the list, who's a sophomore. Flage was number 24 on this list. Anissa Morrow was 19th, 18th, somewhere there. Angel Reese was 8th. South Carolina, they had Fulwiley being 10th and Cardoso being 11th and Te-Hina Paopao. How in the hell they had her 20th? But those players are being penalized for being veteran players playing on quality teams with a lot of quality talent. We both, everybody who's watching me right now knows that Iowa is a one-person show, and that one person takes a bulk of the shots. I'm surprised that ESPN actually put Paige Becker as number 2. I'm surprised. And he had Leah Edwards like number 6 or 7. I'm surprised by that. By that metric, the ESPN metric basically means that LSU should be in the final, or just say that Connecticut should be in the final because 2 of the top 7 players are on this list, so they remain in the thing, so they should win the championship. That's what it sounds to me. But you have a team like Madison Booker. Madison Booker is the straw that stirs the drink for Texas right now. But is she the top 5 player, best player in this? No, y'all. No. She is Rain. They asked Dawn about Tessa's high arcing rainbow 3. She said they need to get her more shots. That's pretty much it. Get her more shots. And it's not to the public. To the public, it's like, oh, Tessa Johnson came out of nowhere. Where did Tessa Johnson come from? Oh my God, Tessa Johnson. Tessa Johnson been here, bro. Tessa Johnson has been her. She's been her. Tessa Johnson was a 25th ranked recruit, but Tessa Johnson should have been higher in that recruiting class because Tessa Johnson broke her leg her sophomore year. Hear me now. She would have been higher. Sometimes we got to take those recruiting things with a grain of salt and dig back to see why this player was rated what they were and where they should be. You need to do, and I'm going to do this. When after the season over, I'm going to revisit the class of 2023 and reseed or re-rank them according to my eyes, according to what the stats say, according to the ratings say, because everything is looked differently depending on the team and what that team needs to do. Now, Tessa Johnson, shooter extraordinaire, if she was playing on a mid-major team or a weak Division I team, she'd be light. And it was, oh, my God, Tessa Johnson just having this amazing year and blah, 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 blah. It's the same player. Tessa's the same player. If Fulwiley was on, let's say, Vanderbilt, if she was on Kentucky, if she was on Kentucky squad this year, Fulwiley probably would average 25 points. Yes, because she would get the minutes, she'll get the time, and she'll have the ability to score when she wanted to score. Would she be the defensive player that she is? No, she would not. No. She wouldn't be the all-around player that she is now. But Tessa is going to be her for a long time. And that three-pointer is so pretty. So pretty. Karen Richardson's a new day. Newport team. New team. Let's go. Let's go. You're right. Amy KK, can we talk about the refs in the Iowa game? West Virginia was jobbed in that game. ESPN needed Iowa to get to 16 or higher. Their golden child wouldn't be the star. Amy KK, say less, say less. Girl. And thank you for a member, as always. Girl, if you watch that West Virginia game, first off, West Virginia had twice as many fouls than Iowa. Let's begin with that. Twice as many fouls than Iowa. West Virginia outplayed Iowa in this game. Is West Virginia a great basketball team? Nope, they are not a great basketball team. They are a good basketball team that plays defense. They made Clark so uncomfortable in that basketball game. They shut her down in the fourth quarter until the end of the game when they had 7 players in foul trouble. They shut her down. Now, Clark going to get her points because she's going to shoot 30 times. So she's going to get her points. But she had a bunch of turnovers. She didn't shoot well from the field goal range or from three-pointers. And the refs, I ain't one to talk about. I'm not one to say that refs are skewed by certain things. I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna mention. I ain't gonna say nothing about that. I'm gonna say about every round. But I say this, just like Amy KK said. There's a whole lot of commercials on one player from Iowa, and if that team would have lost in that basketball game, which they should have lost, a lot of these commercials would just go away. Because these commercials are primed and for this person, this player, all the way to the chip. They got documentaries out. They got 96-page books out. What the hell? Booklets? When 96 pages, that a book? Amy KK, you right. Adam Ritter, Indiana's a really good shooting team. They are a really good shooting team. They are. Indiana's a really good shooting team. But they're a really good shooting team, but they're not as good a shooting team as South Carolina. Man, that's crazy, right? Indiana shoots the ball very well. Very well. South Carolina shoots the ball a tad bit better. Just a tad bit better. Just a tad bit better. Okay? Just a tad bit better. They're more efficient. Carolina basketball is more efficient offensively than Indiana. And the thing that, because we look at, because I always look at stats, I look at percentages, I look at all those things. Like that's how my brain works. You also got to look at the opponent. You got to look at the opponents that the other teams play. Now, I'm not saying there's nobody on this planet who would say that teams from the Big Ten play great defense. There ain't nobody. No one. No one on this planet will say that teams from the Big Ten play good defense in women's basketball. Ain't nobody gonna say that. Now, on the flip side of that, they played some solid teams defensively. That's I would say they played some solid teams non-conference. A couple, Sanford. They played Tennessee. They played Princeton. They played a couple solid teams. And you see, I'm racking my brain trying to find those solid teams outside of the Big Ten. Because they didn't play a lot of solid teams outside of conference. And there's no disrespect to the Big Ten conference. They're a good conference. They're a good conference. But when you're comparing a team like Indiana, who shot the ball well, against a lot of time average defenses, we got to take that stuff with a grain of salt. Gotta take it with a grain of salt. Come on now. Come on. We'll see how good of a shooting team they are when they play against South Carolina. They weren't a good shooting team when they played against Stanford. It wasn't. Size gave them a problem. Big problem. Speed gave them a problem. And there's no combination of speed and the ratio of speed to size and talent than South Carolina. None. There's no combination. No combination. I guess the best combination would be, and it pains me to say this, it really pains me to say this, would be LSU. Of size, speed, and talent. LSU just don't have the depth. But if they bench was able to go about 8 deep, then we got some stuff to talk about discussing LSU and South Carolina. But they don't. They bench go 5.5 deep. Okay? Carolina go 9 deep. 9 players will play tomorrow and possibly 10 for South Carolina. Now, Indiana, they only play 6 players. They play 6 players, y'all. Indiana plays 6 basketball players. You're not going to beat South Carolina playing 6 basketball players. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen, especially if you don't rebound the basketball. If you don't rebound the basketball and you don't, if you only play 6 players and you're not a good defensive team, you're gonna catch a whole lot of transition baskets tomorrow. A lot. Raven gonna be getting that ball out so quick. MiLaysia Fulwiley gonna be making folks look crazy because they don't defend. You have to beat South Carolina. You have to, first off, you have to defend. You have to defend and make us feel uncomfortable. If this offense is comfortable tomorrow afternoon, evening time frame at 1700, the game is a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. I mean, David Caldwell, Gamecocks all day, every day, fire. Jermaine Smith, if we play our game, we win by at least 25. I completely believe that. If we play our game tomorrow, which I completely think that was going to happen, we're going to play our basketball game. Not saying that we're going to play like we played in the previous game against North Carolina. We don't have to play that game. That was amazing. That was sick. That was disgusting basketball that we saw. That display of basketball against North Carolina should be bottled up and sent to every potential basketball team and potential basketball player in real time. Because offensively and defensively, that was straight up sick. There was nothing North Carolina could do against us. Nothing at all. And it was just amazing to see that. We don't have to have all that. We don't have to have all that going against Indiana. We just got to play solid basketball. We can't play average basketball tomorrow. We play good basketball. Captain Will going to be tearing it up tomorrow around 1900, and we're going to have a good time. We play good basketball. We play great basketball. Bro, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I believe with everything within me, in my fly shirt, I believe that Carolina is going to play well tomorrow. The game will be decided by halftime, and we will blow Indiana out, and we will be ready for whoever the opponent is next. That's what I believe. I think this team is on a mission. And I believe that Indiana is in the way tomorrow, and they'll be back home on Saturday morning. That's what I believe. It will be an upset of proportions unknown to me if Indiana sticks with South Carolina tomorrow. Now, I'm not saying that it is impossible for Indiana to win this back. Yeah, I am. I'm saying, yeah, yeah, it's impossible. Yeah, it's impossible. Indiana, no, you got a chance. You have no chance tomorrow. You have no chance. No. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. I don't see the possibility. I don't know what scenario I can say that Indiana will win this basketball game tomorrow against South Carolina. Nope. I don't see it. Foul trouble by Carolina. Injuries. We shoot 15%. I don't know what cataclysmic thing that has to happen for Indiana to beat us. Because at the end of the day, our players are just better. Our players are just better. I think Indiana going to get a beat down tomorrow. I think they're going to get a beat down. And then we'll play whoever on Sunday. Now, Sunday's game might be more competitive. And I don't know. We'll see whoever the opponent is, and we'll break it down on Saturday. But as far as the game tomorrow, I tell you this right here, for all my country folks, get a nice brew of sweet tea. Get it brewing, because you need this for the whole weekend. Get a nice jug of sweet tea and get it ready for tomorrow. And then you go get your pig feet. Because you can get it out the glass container. Just get the glass container. It's already marinated, already all cooked, and all that good stuff. You get that glass container of pig feet, put it in the refrigerator, and that's the championship pig feet. We're not cracking it open until the championship game. We're not cracking it open, but you can buy it right now and let it get marinated. Let the juices go. Just swig all in it. Just get it. All that goodness. Just get it on. Because I ain't had pig feet in a while. I ain't had pig feet since that first LSU game we won. Okay, so we got it's some pig feet in the refrigerator right now that's been marinating, been chilling. No, it's not. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't got no pig feet in the refrigerator, but I'm about to get some. I'm about to get me some though. I'm gonna give me some tomorrow. Give me some tomorrow, because I would have had that same pig feet that was in the refrigerator back when we first played LSU that first time. Oh God, I eat that stuff. Y'all be catching me at the ER. But get it ready, because we are about to partake and go into an era that we are used to. But I just like this is what I like. I love the fact that the more games we win, the more the national media has to talk about us. They have to talk about us in that vein. So I say a lot of stuff about ESPN, but what ESPN does do well is they promote stars. They make stars, but they'll say it 30,000 times in a broadcast. So when Caitlin Clark is going home, when Angel Reese is going home, Hannah Hidalgo's going home, Juju Watkins is going home, and you have teams like a South Carolina, like a UCLA, and like a Stanford hanging out, chilling, you have to talk about us then. You have to. You have to discuss the elephant in the room. You have to address those things where you constantly saying these players are the best. But the players are the best. We'll be watching those games on television. They be watching on television, while the actual best players are actually playing in the game. Stop rewarding mediocrity and start rewarding the best players, and just continue to do that. Just continue to do that. That's all I got to say. Just continue to do that. Lamar Donald, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the tip, brother. I really do appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate the love that we have on this program is so amazing. She is Rain. Indiana coach said they'll double team Kamilla with help side defense. So you just want. That's so cute. Double team Kamilla with help side defense. She also said they need to be aware of MiLaysia Fulwiley. Basically, Scout is on Lay, Powell, Kamilla, and Hall. Lord have mercy. Please come with that type of defense. Please, baby. Please. Okay. That sounds good. It briefs well. All right. Robert Whitaker, offense sells tickets, defense wins championship. Well, that is a true fact, and Carolina does both so well. We just don't hear about our offense. We don't hear enough about our offense. Don't hear enough. Lamar Donald, we are deeper than they are. Fact. They play 6 players. They are a team that relies on running plays and establishing an offensive flow. We must disrupt That offense was intentional defense. I love that comment. Relies on running plays. There's a lot of movement. You know, it's a lot of movement. It is. The problem that they're going to have. This is the problem. This is the problem that a lot of teams who don't play defense well and rely strictly on their offense, this is a problem they have. And you're only playing 6 players. You get tired. So we're discussing about, Shisbury Wayne discussed about what the coach said, what they plan to do against Kamilla Cardoso and Lay and so forth. I mean, that is fine. That is great. That is great. But what happens when you don't have that energy anymore? When you are chasing Raven Johnson, when you are chasing MiLaysia Fulwiley, and you ain't too athletic, when you're chasing them, or when Carolina's making you work on offense, what if Dawn Staley come out and say, yo, we're going to put that press on y'all as soon as the game starts? You only play 6 players. You're not too athletic. You're not too fast. What happens then? When y'all use up so much energy just to get the ball in position. Ask North Carolina how that felt. DM them. DM Deja Kelly. She'll tell you how that felt. So everybody got a plan. Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody got a plan to get punched in the face. So everybody got a plan. That coach got a plan. What happens when it comes on the court, the ball tips off, and you see the talent this basketball team has? Because this is the most talented basketball team you played. Not Stanford, not Iowa. This is the most talented basketball team you've played. You played this year. Is this the most talented basketball team that South Carolina's played? No, that's not the most. This is another reason why you play quality teams during the season, where it's not a shock. This is a shock for Indiana when they play us. This is a shock because they played great basketball teams. They played a few really good ones. They played a few really good basketball teams, but they ain't played no great teams. Stanford is considered a great team. Let me scratch that. Stanford and Iowa are considered great basketball teams, okay? They got blown out by Iowa one time, then they beat Iowa, and they got blown out by Stanford. So that didn't work out too well. South Carolina has played so many wonderful basketball teams. Multiple teams are still in the tournament. Okay? You got LSU, you got Notre Dame, and you got UConn, who Carolina's beat all 3 of them. LSU twice. Already. So this isn't a shock to the girls' system, this Indiana team. It's just another obstacle on their way to another victory. It's a shock to the system when they play tomorrow. It's a shock. And you'll see how fast and how good they are. She is Reign. Sydney Parrish is very scrappy, by the way. She is. She's a really good player. She's a really good player, but obviously that's Powell's girl. So and so both of them know each other well. So it's gonna be it's gonna be something. I can't wait to see it. Natural girl, speed, defense, rebounds, transition, play, depth, and coaching. We win all day, every day. Speed, that's a check. Defense, that's a check. Rebounds, that's a check. Transition, that's a check. Play, that's a check. Depth, that's a check. Coach, yeah, every day. Jay Ham. It's crazy how Oregon lost that whole #1 class and they thrive in other programs. Unbelievable. That is so crazy. Oregon had, just to revisit, that 2020 class, recruiting class, Oregon had a #1 class. All of them transferred. Gone. All of them. And playing well at other teams. It's just crazy. Jonathan McQueen, thoughts on who might start tomorrow? I think it'll be the same lineup that started with North Carolina. That's gonna be the lineup. That will be the lineup. That'll be the lineup until we play again in November. That'll be the lineup. I don't believe anything gonna change, and I believe that lineup is so versatile because, like I said before, the defensive prowess of Ashlyn Watkins and Kamilla Cardoso starting immediately gives you that defensive edge. immediately. And then you have Raven Johnson starting, the best perimeter defender in the SEC. I mean, you're going against Indiana, whatever team you're going against, be it Indiana tomorrow or Oregon State or Notre Dame on Sunday, you're going against a team in South Carolina that is putting 3 dogs on the court defensively. You have the shooting, the experience of a Te-Hina Paopao. You got a versatility of a Bree Hall. And that's all in the starting lineup. Chloe Kitts has found her niche off the bench, and she has been playing lights out, has been balling. MiLaysia Fulwiley is going to do what she does when she gets into the game. There is nobody in Indiana, and I ain't even talking about the basketball team. There's nobody in Indiana, the whole state, who can guard MiLaysia Fulwiley. Ain't nobody. Nobody can guard her. With her coming off the bench, so you got a MiLaysia Fulwiley coming off the bench, a Chloe Kitts who coming off the bench, Sania Feagin, all these girls coming off the bench, 3 5-star recruits. You think Indiana would love to have 3 5-star recruits coming off the bench to go along with a Tessa Johnson, another one? Come on now. Nah, the lineup stays the same. We don't need no changes. Everybody know their roles, and they are so comfortable in those roles. Just stick with it. And if we are not in foul trouble tomorrow and the rotations are sound, bro, that is sick. Sick. JB, don't make any score predictions to state how badly we're going to beat them, Cap. You're not allowed to do it anymore. JB, I love you, bro. Hey, sometimes I do be wrong. I'm a man who will admit to his faults. I'm a man who will admit to his faults, and I just have to say that, you know what I'm saying? I just have to say when I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I ain't wrong about this one. 15.5-point favorite. Take the over. Everybody, if you live in North Carolina, you live in some of these states that actually allow you to bet, take the over in this basketball game. I am. Texas Equipment Finance. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate it. That's amazing. Maple Leaf Studio Productions. Thank you for being a member. Would love to see Breezy get going. Her defense has been strong. Hoping she can see some balls come down. That will really help our total offense. I have a prediction, and then just hearing from my JB, like, don't just Cap stop with the prediction. Here's a prediction. Prediction tomorrow that Breezy Hall gonna have a good game. That's my prediction. She's gonna have a good game tomorrow. I think she's gonna ball out tomorrow. When I say ball out, I'm not just talking about offensively. I'm talking about defensively too. I'm talking about ball out. I think she's gonna have a couple of steals tomorrow. I think she's gonna have a couple of 3-pointers tomorrow. I think she's gonna play very well tomorrow. I already know that Kamilla Cardoso and Ashlyn Watkins gonna ball out. I already know that MiLaysia Fulwiley is gonna ball out off the bench. Chloe Kitts gonna ball out of the bench. I think Raven Johnson gonna have a really good game. I think Te-Hina Paopao is gonna light it up. I think that our offensive players are going to tear up Indiana tomorrow. I think they will. I don't think it's going to be a lot of resistance. I think they're going to be worn down by midway through the third quarter, and we're going to run them into the ground. That is my prediction. Amy KK, ESPN wants Notre Dame. Yeah, ESPN wants Notre Dame. They want Notre Dame. They want Southern Cal to go far. They want Iowa because they want the stars. They want to talk about real talk. They want to talk about Hannah Hidalgo, Juju Watkins, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese as long as they can. As long as they can. And then once those players start going away, then they start talking about MiLaysia Fulwiley, But I love me some MiLaysia Fulwiley. I love some MiLaysia Fulwiley. She got 3 more years. I want to hear about Kamilla Cardoso. I want to hear about Te-Hina Paopao. That's what I want to hear about. I want to hear about Raven Johnson. Like I said before, Raven Johnson, Te-Hina Paopao had some of the best stories, and I'm not hearing enough about them in the national media. Raven Johnson said it out her mouth last summer, talking about a revenge tour. I'm not hearing that a lot. I want to hear that tomorrow. I want to hear some clips of Raven Johnson talking about, yo, we here. This revenge tour. We about it. That's what I want to hear. I'm not hearing that. Put that off in the atmosphere. It's not a secret. It's not a surprise. She said it last summer, and she said it a few times this season. Do some dope story about Raven Johnson. Hollywood, Crockpot, do something like that. Do some dope story about Te-Hina Paopao. Her journey to South Carolina. Do something about that. All this love that Carolina showed her and her family. Do something about that. Coming across the country, coming over here to South Click. Do something about that. This is the opportunity. This is the opportunity to be great as a follower of women's basketball, as a promoter of women's basketball. This is opportunity. Don't let these opportunities pass and we continue to talk about the same players over and over again. Don't do it. That's why I get upset about this mess, because you're not talking about what you should be talking about. Talk about Kamilla Cardoso and her family. First time they seen her play in, 8 years? Come on, bro. Talk about those things. Create stars, not the same stars. Create more stars. Y'all have the platform to do it, so do it. It's not hard. It's not hard. I'll give you some stories. I'll give you some insight. Like, damn. It's not hard. Lamar, oh no, Breezy's going off. She's gonna go off. She's gonna go off. And I believe I think she's gonna ball out. I think Breezy's gonna ball out tomorrow. And it's not a situation where like she needs to ball out or needs to do this, because we're so not individualized. So Breezy ain't gonna ball out this game. Okay, well, such and such is gonna ball out. So Breezy don't ball out, Te-Hina gonna ball out. Okay. Got it. Watkins don't ball out. Okay, Chloe gonna ball out. Okay. Raven don't ball out. Oh, Tessa gonna shoot about 3 or 4 3-pointers. That's the quality of a team where you're not dependent on a player. So like, yo, we have to have this player go off for South Carolina to win. No, we don't. We don't need no player on this team to go off. It is no player on this basketball team that says this player got to have 25 points or we don't win. Ain't nobody on this team that we get the roles like that. But that happens when you have, $8, $9 million All-American on this basketball team. That's what happens. Those are things that happens. Derek Smalley, what's up, my guy? Also hope Breezy have a good offensive game. I know you keep saying this, but if Kamilla starts to dominate the post, we should be unbeatable the rest of the way. Yes. We should be unbeatable. We should be unbeatable. She dominates in the post. Because if Kamilla eats, that means somebody from I know Indiana coach is talking about double teaming Kamilla Cardoso. You double team Kamilla Cardoso, that means that somebody's open. That means somebody's open. And ladies and gentlemen of Indiana or future teams that want to play us like you played us the last 2-3 years, you can't do that. You can't do that. So you double team Kamilla Cardoso. You are telling me that you are leaving somebody wide open. Somebody's wide open. That somebody could be Te-Hina Paopao. You really gonna leave Te-Hina Paopao wide open. That is a recipe for disaster. Don't leave Te-Hina Paopao wide open. You're gonna leave a Tessa Johnson wide open? Don't do that. Don't leave Tessa Johnson and Te-Hina Paopao wide open. You're gonna leave a MiLaysia Fulwiley wide open? You're gonna leave a Raven Johnson shooting about 34-35% from the three this year? You gonna do that? Bree Hall shooting about 38-39% from three right now? You gonna do any of those things? So you have to pick your poison. Maybe that's the only way they think they can win. Like, okay, we're gonna double team Kamilla Cardoso. We can't let Kamilla Cardoso go off on us. Well, damn, somebody else can go off. Somebody else gonna go off if Kamilla Cardoso does not go off. Your best bet, just play straight up. Just play straight up. Don't double team. You get what you get. You double team, we're gonna light you up. You're gonna light you up. You're playing a number 2 ranked team in terms of 3-point shooting in the country. Do we shoot a whole ton of 3-pointers? 24% of our shots are 3-pointers. We're not shooting 47% of our shots like some basketball teams are threes. We're not doing that. But they are quality 3-pointers. Carolina shoots 23 pointers in this game tomorrow. Go on over to at halftime, go get you some chicken wings, order some DoorDash, some So Uber Eats, do whatever you do because it's a wrap. The game is over. It's done. It's done. It's done. Mike Jink, appreciate you. Getting a lot of tips today. Angel Mocha, thank you. Thank you so much, y'all. I thank you so much for tips. I thank you for love. I thank you for appreciation. I thank you for everybody who's, sent condolences out to my great aunt who passed, my Aunt Katie. Wonderful lady. Wonderful lady. You've always had that, in the country, you call them Big Mama. You always had that Big Mama who everybody listen to. Everybody listen to. Everybody listen to Aunt Katie. Everybody listen to Aunt Katie. No matter who you are, you listen to Aunt Katie. That's how it was. So it's a big loss for our family. But Aunt Katie, it's hard to be sad because she lived such a wonderful life and she touched so many people. And but I appreciate all the love, all the support, all the different condolences that I received from my aunt, and just a blessing. I shouldn't even call her my aunt. I should really call her my grandma because that's how she was. That's how she was. And tomorrow, y'all, it is on. It is on. We have basketball tomorrow. We have some great games. We got 4 great games tomorrow. But the game is South Carolina, and it's going down. And we got to wake up. We got one more wake up. One more wake up, and it is on. Get your good sleep tonight. Get you some good rest. If you got to go to work tomorrow, make sure you get off early. Get off early. Like, I got a doctor's appointment. I got to do this because 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock, and some folks will still be at work at 5 o'clock. Get off early. We need to see y'all. Gamecocks need all the love through osmosis, do everything they can do. We need to see y'all. That is the way it's going to be. We need that energy in Albany, so we can get that energy going to Cleveland. For real. And can't wait to see this game tomorrow. And this includes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Continue to like, continue to share, and continue to subscribe. We're getting a lot of subscribers. That's really amazing. Follow me on Twitter at Gamecocks Talk. Follow me on Instagram. Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. It's a long Instagram name, but it's easy to remember. Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm not like very vocal on Instagram. I'm trying to get better. My kids say I need to do better on Instagram, so I'm trying. Yeah. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast, wherever you choose to get your podcast, I am on there. We are rocking with that because you're rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go.